This has always been a farming community, and folks here, we want to keep it that way. There's a saying that a farmer's last crop is housing. When they get to the end of the farm's life, they sell it and develop it. With solar projects, that's one more crop they can harvest, generating a stable income for them and tax revenue for our community. We would hate to see this place become another suburbia, and this way we don't have to. A solar farm is still a farm, and that's what we want around here.
Fuel for Thought, presented by the American Clean Power Association.
Selling a little or a lot? Shopify helps you do your thing, however you cha-ching. Shopify is the global commerce platform that helps you sell at every stage of your business. From the launch your own online shop stage to the first real-life store stage, all the way to the did we just hit 1 million orders stage. Shopify's there to help you grow. Shopify helps you turn browsers into buyers with the internet's best converting checkout. 36% better on average compared to the other leading commerce platforms. Because businesses that grow, grow with Shopify. Get a $1 per month trial period at shopify.com/promo. Shopify.com/promo.
This episode is sponsored by Horizon Studios. Hello, everybody. I'm Nicole Goodman.
I'm Laura Mishcon, and welcome to your weekly wellness roundup show. That must mean it's Friday, and it's nearly the weekend.
Yay!
And how are you?
I am currently living my best life because whilst this is airing and you are listening to this, clubbers, I am lying on my arse in Spain in the sunshine on a sunbed.
And whilst you are doing that, and you are currently listening to this, I am the one alone at home because you're away, my husband's away, my mum's away, and I'm just sad nobody. I'm just a lonely...
I've got a real thing about this, that me and Ollie are away at the same time.
Well, my mum always says to me, oh, you hate it when I go away. And I always think, no, I don't. But then I'm always like, oh, I can't just ring her at 5 o'clock and talk about nothing. Half an hour. But can I tell you something? I actually...
But you're used to Ollie being away. I don't think it's that you're worried about Ollie.
But it's the combo. You and Ollie and my mum. It's like all this...
3 of your favourite people.
Exactly.
Oh, that's cute.
Exactly.
God, you could say it once in a while.
My favourite people. But I just want to tell you something. I have got a new friend. I can't really talk about my new friend because the rules say that I'm not allowed to. But I have signed up with Age UK to be an Age UK telephone friend. And now every Tuesday afternoon, I talk to my friend at 5:30. And I'm not allowed to share any details about my friend or say their name. And there's the rules. Wow, it is strict. I don't even have my friend's number and they don't have mine. I have to call through a separate number. It's all to prevent elder abuse. So you can't, So you can't share your surname or your address. I could never send my friend a card or a present, nor could they send one to me. So it keeps everything.
And do they give you topics that you're allowed to discuss and things you're not allowed to discuss?
Well, they ask you before they match you with your friend, what are you interested in? And then they try and match you with somebody who has similar interests. So I can tell you my friend has dogs.
Okay.
And my friend likes cooking.
Great.
And
Done.
My friend also happens to have a frozen shoulder. I didn't write that, but that was just coincidental.
I am very interested. My frozen shoulder has become my new hobby.
I didn't write in what am I interested in frozen shoulders, but it happens that my friend does. Anyway, it's actually quite sweet.
Is your frozen shoulder any less frozen?
It's so much worse than it's ever been. But you know what? It was all because of the micro connections chapter in our book when we were writing about how important they are and how loneliness is an epidemic and how it's so important to try and help that. So that's just me doing my little part. And that will be my little friendship thing.
I
for the week.
absolutely love that you are doing that. I think it's really sweet. I think it's really generous of you, and I'm here for that.
Thanks. But
it's really lovely.
It's half an hour out of my week. It's nothing. It's nothing.
Well, it's not nothing, actually. It's not. It's a really lovely, wonderful thing to do.
I would like to encourage any of our listeners to do that.
Yep.
You've got to jump some hoops. I'm not going to lie. You've got to fill in some forms. You've got to do a bit of online learning. You've got to have an interview. But once you've done that, you've just got to chat.
Yeah. Which, let's be honest.
I'm capable.
Yeah. You're a good candidate, I would say.
Yeah. Yeah. So that's what I'll be doing while you're gone.
Well, only for half an hour. That's not going to keep you that busy.
No, it's not, is it?
Can I tell you what my achievement of the week is?
Please.
Because it's quite an achievement, and we haven't done achievement of the week in ages.
Go on.
And we put this segment in to sort of encourage us and our listeners to figure out what they're proud of about themselves. And whether it's, I put on a bra today and I really didn't feel like doing that yesterday and I did it today, then that's a win. And then we have to really mark these things that are pushing us forward. Doesn't matter what it is. My achievement of the week is that not only have I been resting,
Yes.
and it's from last week.
That is big for you.
I have actually started to understand what real proper rest looks like.
Love this for you. Expand, please.
So when I had in between Operation 1 and Operation 2,
Yep.
it sounds like I'm on a mission, I thought that I was resting, but I wasn't resting. I was sitting down a bit more than I normally do, but I was also in this denial of I don't need to rest that much and I actually need to be more active and I need to get back to where I was quickly.
Yeah.
Well, that's not very restful and that's not very mindful.
No.
So then I went back into hospital and had to have another whatever procedure, which has really put me back. And so what it then did is make me acknowledge, no, I need to rest.
Yeah.
I need to stop
Yeah.
everything.
Yeah.
That includes going out for dinner. That includes going to Boots to get my kids all the shit that they need. That includes anything.
Yes.
Everything got
The
wiped from
running
my
around.
diary.
Yes.
Anything.
Yeah.
That includes taking on other people's stuff.
Yeah.
Like I had to just prioritize myself.
Yeah.
And it's been really uncomfortable, but really eye-opening.
Don't you find it so interesting that we've had this conversation like a few
So many
times
times.
over the years about like, well, why can't you rest and why can't you stop and what happens and what's that about? And often you're like, I don't really know. It's just not what I do. And it's funny how these things come up and then something happens in your life that kind of makes you. It just holds a mirror up and you kind of have to. I just find that so interesting.
Well, I listen, from my spiritual side, I think that's the universe telling me, or your God, or wherever your faith lies, telling you, actually, right, you're not listening. I keep sending you these signs, and now I'm just going to make you stop.
Yeah. Yes.
Otherwise, you're literally just, and when I say I was on the floor,
Yeah.
emotionally, physically, mentally, on the floor, from everything that was going on in my life, everything just came to a halt.
Yeah.
And so I've had these 2 days when my family weren't there, and I can't even explain how much better I feel from having 2 days of. But it's not that, okay, I've had my 2 days now, I'm done, which is what I was doing last time. No,
Yes.
so I've coined it.
Yes.
It's not just rest, it's consistent rest.
Yeah. Not this like, okay, I've done my time now. I'll go back to how I was before. There's so much to be said for slowing down and slowness. I know you hate it so much.
I haven't actually hated it. I've
Oh.
actually leaned into it and acknowledged how much I have needed it.
Yeah. it's
And
good
by the
for
way,
you.
guys, if you struggle with it like me, it's okay. It's
Like,
actually okay.
the world doesn't fall apart.
No, it doesn't. But I think the problem is with our society is that, okay, I've had a great excuse because I've had 2 back operations.
Yeah.
So no one's going to question why I'm resting.
No.
Right? But if you need that rest because you're feeling a bit mentally burnt out because, I don't know, your boss is driving you mad or you're overworked or your kids are hard work or whatever the stuff that we deal with is, and you think, right, I need some consistent rest now,
Yeah.
there's not enough permission and allowance in society to do it.
Well, no, there isn't, because if you're not busy, then like, who are you? Busy is a status symbol.
So it is problematic
Yeah.
to find it.
I'm very glad you found that. I think it's rare to sort of learn life lessons at our age, stuff you've never had to really
I don't
deal
think
with
so.
before.
I think I honestly, I think the older I get, the more I need to learn.
It's good.
You don't then?
I don't feel like there's a huge amount coming that I haven't seen or is going to surprise me. I could be very, very wrong.
Well, I don't like, not to say that, like, you know, a whole bomb is going to hit your life, but I think there's always things that we can learn and better. And
Of course. But this is like a big thing to always have been a busy knickers and then suddenly have to come to a halt and like figure out what that feels like and looks like. It's interesting.
It is.
You can do
Anyway, that's my achievement of the week.
very good. I don't know if I've got one for you, but I think yours is enough for both of us, to be honest.
I'll take one for the team.
Yeah, take it.
This episode is sponsored by Horizon Studios.
If you're travelling this year and looking for high quality, sustainable and beautifully designed luggage, then look no further than Horizon Studios, who've launched 2 new ranges. The RE series, the world's most sustainable 97% recycled luggage, and now the revolutionary Air series, the world's lightest high-end suitcase.
And I can agree, it is so light, isn't it, Lauren? Because we got
it's
one
amazing.
each. It really is amazing, and I love to overpack. If you have airport anxiety, like me, worrying about the weight of your case, when it goes on those scales, I do it every time, then I'm telling you the Air Series is for you. The Air Series pushes the boundaries of travel, and each detail is designed and engineered to combine an ultralight and durable product. It's significantly lighter than regular suitcases and comes with a lifetime warranty because the most sustainable suitcase is one that you only buy once. We used the cases to go to Paris and Wales last year, and as chronic overpackers, we could still wheel them with ease.
We could. Ultra light and compact, the Air series is made from a premium polycarbonate hard shell with reduced thickness and a recycled lining. It's 100% vegan and produced in a way that is 99% waste free, blending design and function seamlessly. So, Nicole, you can pack those extra 5 pairs of shoes with no stress.
The entire range is available on the Horizon Studios website and in all leading department stores. Go to www.horizon, that's HORIZN, studios.com. That's www.horizon-studios.com.
Horizon Studio. Let's go further. This episode is brought to you by Notion.
Have you ever stumbled upon a tool that feels like it's been tailor-made for you? Well, that's exactly how we feel about Notion. Simply and beautifully designed with all your notes and docs in one place and the power of AI built inside. It's where every idea, task and episode comes to life effortlessly.
Notion merges creativity with productivity seamlessly. Whether we're planning out our episode schedule, collabing on show notes or tracking guest invitations, it's perfect for those who may be becoming a little forgetful in midlife.
Hey, just the other day we used it to map out an entire season of our podcast in record time, and that's why Notion has become an indispensable part of our podcasting toolkit. It even wrote this intro for us.
Notion is more than just a workspace. It's our secret weapon for success in the digital age. Notion is a place where any team can write, plan, organise and rediscover the joy of play. It's a workspace designed not just for making progress, but getting inspired.
Notion is for everyone, CEOs, students and Lauren. If she can manage to navigate it, anyone can.
Try Notion for free when you go to notion.com/selfcareclub.
That's all lowercase letters, notion.com/selfcareclub, and start turning ideas into action. And when you use our link, you're supporting our show.
Notion.com/selfcareclub.
You're a podcast listener, and this is a podcast ad. Reach great listeners like yourself with podcast advertising from Lips and Ads. Choose from hundreds of top podcasts offering host endorsements, or run a reproduced ad like this one across thousands of shows to reach your target audience with Lips and Ads. Go to lipsandads.com now. That's LIBSYN ads.com.
Right, I've got something.
Yeah.
I've got a TikTok trend that went very wrong.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah. A woman has urged people to take precautions before following advice from wellness influencers after she ended up hospitalised from a so-called health hack.
What was the health hack?
She turned to TikTok. She said she followed a famed influencer around 6 years ago who was known for sharing holistic recipes and was in the process of healing her body from a chronic illness.
Oh, I love those ones.
The TikToker said she stumbled across one of the influencer's clips that claimed you could aid digestion by, wait for it, coating an orange with cinnamon and cayenne pepper, eating it peel and all. So she tried it out for herself, but ended up falling so sick that she had to go to hospital. She said she had to see a specialist, she had to have an endoscopy, and it turns out that she did, in fact, wait for it, Lauren, burn her esophagus.
With the cayenne pepper.
Yes. And she suffered, well, and I assume, and the acid from the orange mixed together. That
There
can't
must
have
have
helped.
been some chemical
Yeah.
reaction from the acid in the orange and the cayenne, right?
So she went on to share her concerns that the influencer is still sharing similar tips. There was no name of who the influencer
Right.
was. And the clip has since been flooded with thousands of comments, with one writing, "I will never understand why people listen to random strangers online about their health. I trust no one."
Yeah.
I mean, and there were loads of other comments like this, like, why you'd... But I just thought it pointed to something so important to highlight. I know that we bring TikTok trends here, but we're usually taking the piss out of them.
Mostly always.
Yeah. Mostly always.
I mean, last week we did eating a Kit Kat with ketchup. It's
no,
not
we didn't do it.
We talked about it, but it's not going to land you in hospital. You might spit it out. That's the worst that will happen.
Yeah, that is the worst that can happen.
And it's not a health hack.
But I think there are these health influencers and these wellness influencers around that haven't got any qualifications. They're not doctors
No.
or coaches or anything like that,
They're mainly numpties.
right? Anyway, might edit that bit out.
Well, they are. Please don't.
All right, I won't edit it out. Just be very discerning and careful about what you follow.
Who's that on, right? Let's say you saw that trend.
Yeah.
And as an intelligent human being, you're probably not going to eat an orange with the peel on covered in cinnamon and cayenne. But if someone's stupid enough to see that and then do it, is that on them? Or is that on the person for posting the content?
Or is it on TikTok for allowing that shit to be online?
Yeah.
Because there's young girls.
Well, I was thinking that, like,
Or young people.
we're old enough and ugly enough to know better. But if you're 12 and they say, "Oh, you could,
My kids
clear up
come
your
to,
skin with this,"
they come to me all the time with like, "Oh my God, Mum, you've got to try this thing and it's really good and it's this recipe and it's this skincare and it's this and it's that." And it's, they're very impressionable.
which is why this whole huge thing's going on about primary school children who shouldn't be allowed social media and when they should be allowed and da 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 da. You know that 48 out of 52 American states are suing Meta currently, i.e. Facebook,
For the same thing.
for damaging children's mental health. 48 out of 50. I feel like
I think it has, though.
I think we are on the cusp of society turning, and I
hope
think
so.
in 20 years when our kids are having kids,
Yeah.
they will not be watching this stuff. I think we're kind of too old.
Where else can it go?
Well, I just think it's going to go.
I hope to God you are right.
Because I think we weren't raised on it. So
But then I think it's such a shame for our kids.
our kids are the worst off of all.
Yeah.
But I think they are hopefully the only generation who are going to be really fucked up from this stuff. And I think the worm is going to turn. Everything comes in cycles.
What a great saying. The worm is going to turn. I've never heard that before.
Oh, really? I use it all the time.
No, you don't.
I do.
No, you don't.
Well, just not to you. To my other friends.
Didn't we just clarify that?
I don't have any other friends. To the dog. Okay, I say it to the dog.
The worm is going to
Listen,
turn,
Barker,
Margaret.
you better stop eating all those leaves. The worm is going to turn.
I say it all the time like we've just met. Okay, fine.
What else is going on TikTok?
What else is going on TikTok? Oh, another trend.
Yeah.
And it's going on Instagram as well.
Yeah.
I'm actually ashamed to say that I am really loving.
Oh.
And it's basically young girls, and it might be men too, but I haven't seen any men posting about it, that they get fired from their jobs
Yeah.
for apparently going to the loo or leaving because there was a family emergency, and like they feel that they have been fired
Unfairly dismissed.
very unfairly dismissed.
Okay. Yeah.
And then what they do is they expose the company's secrets,
Like who?
like Sephora, Primark. I've seen quite a few of them.
What are the secrets?
Well, let me tell you something.
Yeah.
They are really, really good. Like you could be a tester for Sephora if you type in to this website and then you get a £500 gift card for free. Anyway.
What? Better give me that.
And then there's one for Primark that you get a £750 gift voucher for free.
What?
To be like some sort of Primark tester. So I actually tested it out.
And?
With the Primark one because I hadn't seen the Sephora one yet.
Yeah.
So it does work.
Yeah.
But what you have to do is you have to agree to a deal, and they'll give you
right.
deals of like Animal Farm or Go Monopoly or
No. Don't
So-
understand.
there'll be like apps. So you have to go on the apps.
Oh,
so
okay. You have to download an app.
you have to download an app. So I thought, okay, so I'll download Go Monopoly. But I had to play till level 10 to get the 700. And then it gives you a timeline and it says, it takes about 2 hours. Oh,
You really could have done that in your resting time, though. I mean, 750 quid, the Primark shit would have sorted your kids out the whole of the summer and winter. Wow. Okay, interesting.
I just didn't have the head for it. And now it keeps emailing me, telling me, it's still waiting. Your gift card is still waiting.
Get on it.
And there was one from Sephora.
Yeah.
And also things like what's the best time to go to the shops.
Oh, yeah, I love all those tips.
The testers in Sephora are apparently just returned products that have been used. So that's a bit gross.
Well, it is and it isn't. Because
you know
then
they've been used.
But then also everyone else is testing them. So you know it's been used because
So you know
you're
it's been
testing it
used.
too, yeah.
So there's quite a few. It's quite fascinating.
Also, you're not allowed to return makeup if it's been opened.
Yeah, that is a good point.
So what's that about? It's weird.
The Primark one, by the way, apparently you have to go on a Tuesday morning.
Okay, so
That's the best time to go.
I've learnt that Zara stock drops on a Monday and a Thursday morning, but you mustn't go in before 11:30 because they won't have put it all out. So those are the two best mornings to go to Zara.
Well, Monday we can't do that.
No, we can't, but Thursdays we can. So you've got this new stock comes in and then they refresh all the stores. So that is the best time.
So Thursday at 11:30.
Yeah. Yeah, before that you have to go in after they've had time to restock it and tidy up, but before the lunch crowd arrive. Top tip for you there.
Interesting.
Yeah.
What else is going on in the self-care news, Lauren?
Well, according to the Sun newspaper, which is, the fountain of all knowledge, millennials and Gen Zers spend more on self-care than any other generation. I'm not surprised. They spend about £24 a week on treats and pampering to boost their mental health. I mean, £5 of that is a coffee, so that's not. To me, it doesn't sound like
I don't think
a lot.
that's towards their self-care, is it? A coffee.
Might be. A frappuccino, latticino, la la.
No, but they're
la,
probably
la.
talking about like I don't know, like an eye mask or something like that.
A poll of 2,000 adults found that young generations will go out of their way to treat themselves to small goods like flowers and pamper products such as face masks as often as 11 times a month. That's more than twice a week. However, the older you get, the less likely you are to spend your cash on self-care.
Well, that does make sense.
Boomers, who's that? That's our parents' generation.
Yeah.
They only fork out about £10 a week, while the silent generation, those born between 1928 and 1945, well, they're in their 80s now, they spend just over £8. It's also emerged that the main benefit of enjoying a self-care treat includes feeling happier, 66%, putting a smile on their face,
no shit,
53%,
Sherlock.
and being kinder to others, 23%.
But we have written a book about this.
Yeah, and you can do self-care for free.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So it's all bollocks.
But I'll tell you one thing that isn't free, but I think is nice. And I was very interested that Mel Robbins, I like Mel Robbins, good podcast. She put up a post about her own form of self-care, which is where she walks around her garden. It is a fuck off massive garden. And she picks like a huge bouquet of flowers. And she says it is her self-care to always have fresh flowers in the house. I totally agree with that. I don't have a huge garden filled with flowers, so I have to go and buy my flowers, normally from M&S. But I have to say, I always have fresh flowers in the house, and it does make me really happy. And I do think it's a very valid, tiny bit of self-care.
I am appreciating flowers more as I get older, and I got so many flowers on my first round of operation.
Yes.
And it really, really did cheer me up.
Yes.
To come downstairs and see them, they were gorgeous.
Yeah.
So I get that. But I still don't think I'd buy them for myself.
I always do. I always have some in my kitchen and some in my hallway, and it's a small but important part of my week.
Love it.
Yeah.
There's your achievement of the week.
I mean, I'm not sure it's an achievement. I want to bring you a couple of things that are going to make you happy and bring it to you personally and the listeners.
Okay. Oh, nice.
One is a book. I have it in my handbag for you to take away with you.
I'll take it out.
Take it out. It's called None of This Is True, and it's by Lisa Jewell. And it is about two very different women who meet and discover that they are birthday twins, as in born on the same year, same day. One of them is a women's wellness podcaster.
Oh, stop it.
I promise, who talks to other women about female empowerment. And the other convinces her to interview her for her show. And that is when it all gets very, very, very dark. Ooh, very dark. Oh, it's so good. And you are going to fucking love it.
Oh, I'm so excited.
Okay, this is the other one. It's called Romantic Comedy. It's by Curtis Sittenfeld. I love her. I love all her books. I love Prep. I love Sisterhood. This one is equally as good. It is about a scriptwriter for like the equivalent of Saturday Night Live. And one of the guests on the show is this like young pop star, and he comes on and they have this kind of will they, won't they thing going on.
Good. My holiday is sorted.
Also, if you have an evening, because I know your sister will be with you on holiday, and you want to watch a movie with her, may I please recommend what I watched on the plane yesterday, Amazon Prime, so you can get it for free if you have Amazon Prime, The Idea of You. Have you watched this film?
Oh, my God.
Have you watched this
Is that
film?
with Anne Hathaway?
Anne Hathaway, who I love.
I watched about 15 minutes of it.
Yeah.
And I just thought, I can't with this
no,
film.
you should. It's like turn your brain off, sit on an aeroplane,
Yeah, but
sit
it was
by a
so
pool
obvious
watching.
what was going to happen in the first scene. It was so obvious.
Yeah, but you've got to go with. You've got to go with.
Oh, I just couldn't. It felt so predictable.
It's
Although
about
she
it.
looks,
She
she
looks
gets younger.
Absolutely amazing. So it's about a 40-year-old mum,
Single mum.
single mum who ends up accidentally at Coachella, and she meets this guy from a boy band who's a kind of Harry Styles character. He is the same boy who's just starred in Mary and George, where he basically romped his way around Elizabethan times. He's now romping his way around Anne Hathaway. And they meet and they start this summer fling, and it's just that. That's all it is.
But I knew that's what it was before I'd even watched the rest. I turned it off. But I told you I've got no concentration
I
span.
feel like on holiday with your sister, you would enjoy this hour and a half of absolute chewing gum nonsense.
Okay.
Although I did feel watching most of it like the main thing that was going to happen on the European tour was just her having a raging UTI. But there you go. That's just me.
But you know, the big studios probably don't want to put that in a film.
Also,
Do they?
The other thing was, there's this whole conversation about
Imagine taking that storyline to Warner Brothers. It's just not going to cut it.
middle-aged woman has much too much sex with a 24-year-old, ends up with raging UTI, Hollywood movie. The other thing was, right, he's like, come back to me in 5 years and your daughter's at university and then like we can be together.
Don't ruin it.
No, he just says that. Just come back to me and then like, you know, it'll be great. And I'm just thinking, yeah, because when you're like in your mid-40s and on the cusp of perimenopause, you really want some 20-year-old fucking pouring at you every 5 minutes. You know what I mean? You'd be like, fuck off.
She'd need to get her hormones sorted out
She
first.
really fucking would. So I was just thinking, it's the last thing I want is some 25-year-old pouring at me every 5 minutes.
That's because your hormones aren't sorted out.
I just want to be in a tracksuit with my dog. Fuck off. Leave me alone, child.
Maybe that's why you didn't star in the movie.
But also, he's also 4 years older than my own son. You know, so to me, that's not sexy. It's just a teenager. I don't care if you're in a boy band. You still don't know how to wash a fucking saucepan. So leave me alone. That's my general feeling. If I was starring in the film, I don't think it would be quite as sexy. Just saying, Nicole, just saying.
Again, when they pitch it, they're not pitching you and your UTI and whether or not he can wash up a sauce.
I just say I don't actually have currently or historically a UTI, but it's not a factor it's not something that's really factored heavily in my life. But
Can I tell you?
yeah.
I do not think I have laughed for about a week.
Oh, it's because you haven't seen me.
I know. It's because I fucking haven't seen you. Don't go again. It's not okay.
You're going, I'm staying.
You've been on 2 holidays. I haven't been on 1.
They're more mini breaks. No, sorry. One was, one wasn't.
You were sat by a pool.
Yeah, I was. So that was
Reading
a complete
books.
lie. It's a complete lie.
Yeah.
Reading books to research for the show.
Yeah.
To give to you.
Okay. Anyway, I think is that our show?
I mean, probably.
I don't know how long we've been talking.
I don't know, but can we email Warner Brothers later? Middle-aged woman with dog in tracksuit tells 24-year-old hot boy band boy to fuck off and learn
Stop
how to
clawing at me.
learn how to wash up and stop trying to touch my boobs. I think
No, they don't lactate anymore now. Piss off.
I think it's a winner.
Maybe that could be our next podcast series. You know, like they do the true crime stuff. We could do it like a
True romance.
yeah.
There won't be much romance in it, though, at this rate.
Oh, it'd be a funny show.
It would be great. Maybe we could get some 24-year-old boy bands on to try and like figure out how they would go about this relationship without irritating us. I think it'd be a hard sell. Hard sell.
I think every menopausal woman in the world would listen to that show.
They so would, wouldn't they?
Yeah, because it's depicted on screen as this really sexy, hot thing, when in truth, no middle-aged woman who's going through menopause wants that fucking shit. Although she did not look like she was going through the menopause.
She was going through nothing.
Yeah, puberty.
Yeah.
Basically. Yeah.
But even like, listen, I have a 20-year-old. I adore him. He's a fabulous human being. I love chatting to him. But there's not an awful lot of life experience that's happened then. And when you're like sharing each other's stories about life and what's gone on, like, well, what's gone on? Oh, well, I left school a few years ago.
Yeah, but you're not there to connect emotionally.
Yeah, but when you're
there
not
to connect
shagging,
physically.
when you're not shagging, which I understand
You're
is
washing up.
90% of the time, what do you talk about?
You don't.
Oh,
They're
okay.
not
Don't
there.
have any. They're not there. Well, in the film, he is there, and I'm thinking like, okay, in between shags when he's making the morning coffee, like, what do you talk about? Because you have nothing in common apart from the sex,
And you just feel so old all the time with everything, all their
every
your
reference, every
yeah.
reference, every.
I'm sorry,
song.
I don't know that song.
Yeah,
Sorry, what's Sesame Street? I mean, they just wouldn't know anything.
I know, it would be so irritating.
Yeah. Who's Madonna? You know, it's that shit. That shit.
And
Oh, Madonna, isn't she that
that
older
old
lady?
woman, that old woman.
Yeah.
Yeah. Nah. No thanks. Thanks, but no thanks. You know? That's generally when I got off the plane, I just generally thought if Harry Styles approaches me at baggage reclaim, I'd be like, do you know what, Harry? Thank you so
or
much.
at Coachella that I'm not
Yeah,
ever
that
going
I've never
to.
been to in my life because I don't want to wear denim knickers and a hat combo and boots.
cowboy boots. You could get your cowboy boots out. Be a good opportunity.
No thanks.
Yep.
If Harry Styles approaches me at baggage reclaim while I'm standing next to my husband of many decades and says, "Hey, Lauren, how about it?" I'd be like, honestly, thank you for the offer, but no thanks. No thanks. Go find someone. Go play in the sandpit with someone your own age. Bro.
Firstly, that's never going to happen.
You don't know that.
I do know that for many reasons. Many reasons. He wouldn't be in baggage reclaim. Okay? He wouldn't. Because
How to get his bag off the plane?
I would
He's on a
imagine-
PJ. He's on a PJ.
Or someone gets it for him,
Okay.
even if he's in first. I would imagine he is probably on a PJ because he couldn't.
Yeah, he probably is.
He wouldn't be
Okay.
able to get
Fair enough,
through
fair enough.
security.
Yeah, he probably is on a PJ.
Not
yeah.
probably. How is Harry Styles going to get off a plane to baggage reclaim and then through security and then what? He's going to meet his Uber driver on the other end? I don't think so.
I don't travel with Harry, so I don't know. But in the film, they're all on PJs with a limo. So
that's the
different.
first problem.
Okay, yeah. That's
of why
problem
he's
number
not
one.
coming
Yeah.
to come on to you then.
Yeah.
Secondly,
Yeah.
you stood there with Ollie.
Yeah. Ollie, I'm not sure.
I
Ollie
think he would deter Harry Styles.
I'm not sure Ollie would have a lot of bandwidth for the boy band member trying to come on to me. He'd be like, is this one of Max's friends? Hello, what are you studying at university? And that would kind of kill the vibe.
I think he might recognise Harry Styles.
He might not.
Yeah, Adam might not.
Yeah.
So that's the second thing.
To be fair, I will tell you this in truth. I don't want to go back to the Keanu Reeves and the soba noodles, but I did actually stand next to Harry Styles at a funeral for an hour and a half once. And then the next day, I was talking to this woman and she was like, oh my God, what about Harry in the Gucci loafers? It's like, sorry, what? She said, Lauren, you stood next to him for an hour and a half. Did not notice.
Yeah, well, you're not expecting to see Harry Styles at a funeral.
But he was standing
Why was he
next to
there?
me because we both knew the deceased.
Oh.
That's why I did not even clock him. So the likelihood
Yeah,
of
but you are the most unobservant person. But if he
Yeah.
came up to you in baggage reclaim, this handsome, cool
Okay, let's
guy
say he came up to
with
me.
all the
Let's say
hair
he came
and
up
he's
to
in
me
a
at the
really cool
funeral.
outfit.
What about at the funeral? Because that was a real life event that actually happened.
Well, it's inappropriate at a funeral. Sorry, but it is.
You're so right. It is. But death and sex, they're very closely linked.
They are, because emotions are running very high.
Yeah.
He could have, now you say
Do you know what I mean?
It could have actually
You
happened.
say it's not possible, but he was standing within half a metre of me.
Did he acknowledge you?
I did not even know he was
so you
there.
didn't acknowledge him?
Whether he was checking me out at the funeral, I couldn't possibly tell you. Whether he went home and said, I've fallen in love with a middle-aged Jewish podcaster whilst at a funeral, it's anyone's guess. He could have had a chat with Louis Tomlinson about this for the whole rest of the weekend. I'll never know. We'll never know. I didn't know that he was even there until someone mentioned it.
You know what? We could find out.
How?
I've got an in with Harry.
Have you?
2 ins, in fact.
Okay.
He does Pilates at the Pilates studio where my sister works.
But I do Pilates there too.
Different branch.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
He's at the Primrose Hill
Oh,
branch.
yeah. Uh-huh.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's the. Or maybe. Okay. This is good.
I'm
You
going to
go
start going to your sister's
Primrose
other
Hill
branch.
And just to say, just
Yeah.
to tell him, like, you know,
Hi, remember me from the funeral?
I know you were in love with me. I'm just here to tell you that I'm not interested because you can't wash up.
I'm just here to tell you I may be starting perimenopause. I don't want you pouring at my bras, even if they are the right size now and they fit. And also, can you wash up a saucepan? Because my son, who's your age, can't.
And also, I used to do the woman's hair, and her husband was his lawyer.
Right.
So I could ask. I mean, it would be weird, but I could ask.
Send an email later.
Did he ever mention to your husband about Lauren?
He might have a clip of our podcast thing on his bedroom
on
wall.
repeat.
On his bedroom wall.
Or he might just listen to you on repeat. Well, Harry, if you're listening,
I'm not interested. Sorry. That's it.
I don't know what that
Oh
was.
dear, clubbers! I think we
Listen,
better leave
we've
you to
obviously
your.
missed each other. We haven't seen each other for a whole week.
I think we better leave you to your weekends.
We'll
now.
be back on
Monday.
Yeah,
Monday. That day.
Bye.
Hello everyone, I'm Kat Farmer. And I'm Marianne Jones. And we want to ask, are you past giving a toss about what people think? If so, then please join us for our twice weekly podcast, Been There, Done That, Got the Podcast, where we wang on about misbehaving hormones, inappropriate crushes, and debatable fashion, all while navigating the banana skins of life in a mid-heel. Download Been There, Done That, Got the Podcast wherever you listen to your pods.